Conte's going for it. I'm all over it.
Bullet, bullet.
Okay.
We get it right back. We get it right back. Oh, look at that body. There's tiki-taki in it. Nice. Right now we're gonna have to try that same.
No. Okay. Double tackle. Dribbler, eh?
Instant. Instant.
Oh,
stop
ripped
everyone.
iron.
I'm gonna get this ball. Promise you. I promise you.
Mine.
What'd I say?
Nice. 96. Oh, why would you launch for it? Get it.
Oh, he did 5-star for the first
Oh,
time.
there,
That's
giving me some
entire
sliding
game.
clips. I love it.
What a touch. And
I just ripped it from you.
oh. He had to get you back from last.
Oh, nice.
What's going on, everyone? This is Lesky. Today I have for y'all a CDM build, and I wanted to make a unique build that a lot of people probably haven't tried. I initially, when creating this build, wanted to go for max aggression, so that's what I did. But on top of that, we have max reactions as well as max defensive stats for a CDM. And I kind of based this build on KEANE, who's known for his aggressive playstyle, and he has a ton of aggression on his cards in Ultimate Team. So we have like a similar height to him, and a lot of the stats are pretty close to what he has on his cards. So let's get started and take a look at the height and weight that I have for this build. I chose to go 5'10" for the height on this build, and KEANE's listed at 5'11", so we're pretty close to him when it comes to the height. And then weight, you have to go pretty much 119 or 99 pounds. Anywhere in between that range, you're good to go. But if you go up to the next weight section, it'll drop a lot of pace. I don't know why the CDM position's like this. It's like the only position in pro clubs where you drop a lot in pace when you go up in weight. It's 4 pace difference, and it gets even worse when you go taller. So like basically, if you're a taller CDM build, you want to be 119 pounds. It's not as big of a deal. Say you're like 5'4" or like 5'6". If you're 5'4", I think it only goes down 1 pace when you go up to the next weight section. But if you're like 6'7", this is pretty crazy. We have 83 pace. If I go up to 121 pounds, it drops all the way down to 74 pace. So that's a 9 pace difference. So if you're a taller CDM build, you pretty much have to be in the minimum weight section. I do not know why they do it like that, but it is. It's kind of weird. And then the foot, I went for right-footed on this build. KEANE's also listed as righty, so that's kind of up to you guys, just preference. So let's take a look at the perks. For the first perk, I went for tireless runner. CDM builds do not have a lot of stamina to start out with, and this will give you the second win trait, which will boost your stamina in the 75th minute of every match, which is clutch. And KEANE also has a lot of stamina on his cards. For the second perk, I went for physical strength. We have the bull archetype. We have pretty good strength. I think it's like high 70s, like 77, somewhere around there. So it'll boost our strength up even more than what we actually have on the skill tree, as well as jumping 2, which is important for a CDM build, and ball control when jostling, shielding, or heading the ball. So physical strength is important, and KEANE has a pretty good amount of strength on his cards also. So it'll bump our strength up closer to what he has. And then for the third perk, you can switch this perk out for something else if you want, but I feel like precision pass is important for a CDM build. We have a 3-star weak foot. It'll give you the 5-star weak foot when you make A and X passes on Xbox, or X and square passes on PlayStation, which is very clutch. Or you could go threaded pass if you want to make through ball passes. You could also do that. Other than that, the only other thing I would suggest is maybe ball winner. We have max defensive stats, but this will just upgrade the tackling ability, like side tackling and stand tackling even more, and probably make it like 99. But I feel like having a passing perk is clutch, because I don't think we have any upgrades on the pass page. We just have the base passing stats. So precision pass is nice for the increase in pass accuracy and speed. It'll also give you the swerve and flare trait, so you can do like fancy passes too, which is kind of cool, I guess. So these are the 3 perks. I definitely think these are the best options for this build. Let's take a look at the skill tree. This physical page looks crazy because we have a ton of skill points here. We have 40 skill points, and starting on this left side, we're going down to the bull archetype. It'll give us +7 strength, +5 aggression, and we are going for that max aggression on this build. I wanted to test it out for a defensive-minded build and see how it is. And I actually looked up the aggression attribute, like what it does on this website. And it says the aggression level of player measures the frequency and the aggression of jostling, tackling, and slide tackling. It is the attribute which determines the player's power of will or commitment to a match. So what does that actually mean, or how does it work in certain situations? It can work for like shoulder to shoulder, like you're trying to bump somebody, your guy will just be more aggressive and just try and absolutely bully them out of the way. It'll also work for like if you know when you make a tackle but you're not actually pressing the B button, you're just like jockeying in front of someone and they try and dribble past you and your guy just makes an auto tackle. That's where aggression will kick in also. And it even works for jumping. Your guy will basically position his body in a way to go for like an aggressive type of jump to where he's like bumping the guy in the air to win the header. So it works for jumping. It works for shoulder to shoulder battles. It works for tackling ability. But it could be more susceptible to getting more fouls because you are more aggressive and possibly giving up penalties. So be careful with that. And then for the rest of this physical page, we're just going to get everything you can to upgrade the aggression. This one's going to give you aggression and jumping. All the way down here, we're going to get more aggression. And then I wanted to get the max reactions, which I'll get to soon. So we got this stuff right here. Only 3 skill points for +5 reactions. And then you're just going to go straight down on the right side. We're going to get some stamina, jumping, reactions, and more aggression upgrades to get us to 95 aggression, 97 reactions, which is max for a CDM build, 79 jumping, and 77 strength. But remember, we have the physical strength perk, which will actually bump up our jumping and strength. So it's actually higher than what you see here. It's probably like mid to high 80s when you actually get into the game. And 77 stamina, which isn't great, but that's why we're using the tireless runner perk. And you shouldn't be going up on offense anyway, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. You're going to be anchoring the midfield, staying back, preventing the counter, sitting in front of your center backs, and just locking it down in the midfield. So the lack of stamina shouldn't be too big of a deal, especially with that tireless runner perk. And then we have that 97 reactions. I wanted to go for the max reactions. Not really necessary. You could take this one off if you wanted to, just to have 92, and use those 3 skill points elsewhere if like you wanted to bump up the jumping. But I wanted to try it out. It'll help you react to like loose balls faster, which is important sometimes for a defender where you get a tackle. There's a lot of deflections, random bounces, bobbles everywhere, and you might be able to react to it faster than the attacker because you have higher reactions and win the ball for your team. So let's take a look at defending. As I said, this CDM build has max defensive stats. We have a total of 37 skill points on this page. So we're going to go for everything that you see, and then make sure to get this second part right here, which gives you +4 slide tackling to bump it up to 89. And then we have 90 stand tackling. You could go for the ball winner perk to bump up the tackling ability more, but you'd have to take off like the passy perk or maybe tireless runner if you don't think you need the extra stamina. Definitely should keep the physical strength perk on this build, in my opinion. And then we have 93 defensive awareness and 96 interceptions. These defensive stats combined with the max reactions and max aggression should make you an absolute monster on the field, doing some dirty slide tackles, stand tackles, bumping people off, being very aggressive, and just not letting anybody dribble past you with these very good defensive stats. So let's take a look at dribbling. I'd say this is the major downside to this build, which is why I don't think this is the best CDM build out there. Even though we have amazing physical and defensive attributes on this build, we have pretty low agility and balance, which helps a lot for like your lateral movement, jockeying, staying in front of a dribbler, and helping you make tackles. So it's not very high. And if we wanted to bump it up more, like to get the Lynx archetype, which would be awesome, we'd probably have to take a lot of skill points off of pace, some off defending, like the slide tackling, the extra slide tackling maybe, the interceptions, and maybe even the reactions. And I still don't know if we'd be able to get the Lynx because we would still need 15 more skill points. But all we have here is just 1 skill point each. We just got this +2 agility for 1 skill point, and then the +2 balance for 1 skill point. And then we didn't even go for like any extra dribbling or ball control upgrades. We just couldn't because we don't have the skill points. But honestly, it's pretty similar to KEANE's cards. Like he has very low dribbling, not that amazing of bulk control, and his agility and balance is low as well. So we're matching his stats honestly very close. So let's take a look at passing. And here I have no skill points, but luckily for a CDM build, the base passing stats are pretty decent. 78 vision, 84 long pass, and 83 short pass. And we have the precision pass perk, which will increase the long pass and short pass and give us the 5-star weak foot ability with those type of passes. So that is nice. Or you could switch that out and maybe use the threaded pass if you want to try some through balls, which I don't think is as important for a CDM build. You want to leave that up to more of your playmakers, your cams, your wingers, your box-to-box midfielders and stuff like that. But it will increase the vision to improve your through balls if you want to do that. But not much to talk about here on passing. Let's go to shooting, which we don't have anything here either. It's a CDM build. We're not going to waste any skill points here. The base shooting stats are already very bad, so there's really nothing to talk about here either. Let's go to pace. And this is the last page where we have a decent amount of skill points. We have 90 acceleration and 87 sprint speed. The only things we left off is this +3 acceleration and +2 sprint speed. And I think this is a solid pace for a CDM build. If you want, you could take off even more pace, this acceleration, and use those 2 skill points maybe on like dribbling or passing. But if you're in the correct position, you shouldn't need a ton of pace on this build. But it is helpful for covering the field, filling those gaps, getting those interceptions, catching up to people dribbling or running in behind, pulling them back so you can utilize that aggression on this build. So the pace isn't too bad at all, and the pace is way better than all of KEANE's cards, so we're not really matching that for KEANE's cards. We definitely wanted more pace than what he has. So that's going to do it for this CDM build, which is very unique, and I bet a lot of people haven't tried a build like this with the max aggression, reactions, and defensive stats. So if you want to use a build that's different and just have fun in FIFA and try something new and utilize that aggression, see how it feels, give this build a try. Let me know in the comments how you like it. Please hit that like button on this video for me, and then hit that subscribe button on my channel if you haven't already subbed. Thank you guys for watching. Y'all have a great rest of y'all's day, and peace out.